Oh man! All right, dry off after all that water. All right, so a town is determined that a function rule, which is shown here, relates the vertical v of h and horizontal h locations of homes on a town map, which are in a flood zone. So that's the equation. We want to determine whether or not a house located at -5, 1 is in the flood zone. Now we could go through and we could just take these values, substitute them into here, and then determine whether or not it's in there or it's not in there. But that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of dealing with the functions and drawing the functions. So I'm going to take this opportunity and go ahead and draw it out for you, or with you. So, well, what do we have to figure out? We got to determine where the axis of symmetry is. So if I look here, my axis of symmetry is going to be at x equaling -1. And then where would my vertex be? Well, we know it's going to be -1 for here. And then I look over here, -4. Alright, so then now we got to deal with graphing it. Notice that I don't have any lines over here yet, so I actually want to create... Ooh, wrong thing. I hate when that happens. Here we go. Try it again. I want to create a line and use it to now go ahead and draw. Oh, but it helps if I do the right thing first. Let's try it again. Ding, ding. There we go. All right, so I got to come up with my axes. Now, if I'm going to have my vertex at -1, -4, I know this thing's going to open upward. Okay, and I need to make sure I have -5, 1 somewhere here. So -5 is going to go this way, 1 up this way. I know I'm at -1, -4 for my vertex. So let's say here's one of the axes, and then I've got to have a lot more negative that way. So let's try there. Okay, so we'll go through and now we'll go ahead and say, okay, well, this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. All right, so let's figure out some points so that we can go ahead and graph this. We already know one of them, so that's helpful. It's nice to know. We're going to have to find some more, obviously. All right, so what happens if I put 0 in here? So if I put 0 in here, I get 1. 1 squared is 1. And then 1 minus 4, that's going to give me a -3. So I've got -3 here. Oh, that's interesting. If you leave it as a line, no. Why is it like that? That's odd. All right, and then up here we're going to have -3. Well, I guess I have to get rid of these. The heck with it. It's more fun to have these little cool little arrows in here, I guess. So now if I go to 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So that's it. Okay, so I've got a 0 here. And then we got a 0 here. And let's come back up here again. I'm going to have to use 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 4. Well, 9 minus 4, I'm going to be up at 5. All right, so we'll put 5 in here with the cool little arrows. See, I got arrow numbers. I'm so cool. I don't even know how I did that, but I'm doing it, and that's fine. All right, let's put these points in. So my vertex is at -1. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my vertex. And now we've got the point 0, -3. And then we've got the point 1, 0. And am I going to fit 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I got lucky. Okay. Let's put a line in for my axis of symmetry here. So click on the line, take a dashed line, make it so that we have arrows at both ends, and we're good. So right there is what I'm looking at. Excuse me. Itchy nose. All right, so now we go through and we put the rest of the points on. Remember, we have a mirror image, and then this one here, and lastly, I'm 1, 2, 3 away, so I go 1, 2, 3 out here. All right, I got to figure out if this is going to be a solid line or if it's going to be a dashed line. So I go back up here. Notice how I have the line underneath, so therefore the line underneath means it's a solid one. So we'll just draw this in to the best of my ability. And the same on this side. Ooh, that's a bad curve there. Ooh. All right. So there is my parabola. I got to find a point. Negative 5, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So here's my home. As my home in the floodplain or flood zone. Okay. Kind of like North Stonington a couple years ago. Actually, it was all this area, all under flood. March 30th, was it 2009 maybe? All right, so it was all flooded. So we want to figure out if this house is in that flood zone. How do I do that? Well, I substitute the values in. All right, so we've got, let's see, negative 5, 1. So 1 goes here, greater than or equal to. Negative 5 plus 1 would be negative 4. Negative 4 squared is going to be 16. 16 minus 4 more is going to be 12. Is 1 greater than or equal to 12? No. So guess what? The home is not in the floodplain. So here we have a safe home. Okay? Because that's not part of the flood zone. What is part of the flood zone is in here. So all of this is the flood zone. And look at that, I even used blue so you think it's water, da 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 da. Okay, so my solution, or the answer to my question here is the home located at negative 5, 1 in the flood zone? Nope, it's safe. Okay, all right, there's number 5, done.